Welcome to virtual practical on test on air conditioning test rig. In this session, you will be able to explain practical relevance, importance and the procedure of conducting trial on air conditioning test rig. You will also be able to determine theoretical and actual coefficient of performance and tonnage capacity of air conditioning test rig. Objectives of this experiment are study of air conditioning system, explanations on performance of experiment which includes experimental setup, observations, calculations, result tables and conclusions. Practical relevance of the experiment is: air conditioners are used for domestic air conditioning purpose, automobile car air conditioner, commercial air conditioning used in hotels, shopping mall, in cold storage, in hospital, and central air conditioning system used in multiplex. In all these are applications of air conditioning. So air conditioning means to supply and maintain desirable internal atmospheric conditions for human comfort and product, irrespective of external conditions. There are mainly two categories of air conditioning: comfort air conditioning, which is used in office buildings, commercial sectors like supermarkets, shopping centers, restaurants, etc. Industrial air conditioning, which is used in textile companies, pharmaceutical units, electronics units, manufacturing companies, computer centers, etc. In air conditioning, mainly four properties of moist air are controlled simultaneously: temperature, which is maintained by using cooling coil or heating coil; humidity means moisture content of air is maintained by use of dew point temperature of cooling coil; motion of the air means velocity is controlled by use of fan or blower in air handling unit; cleanliness means purity of air. Here unwanted dust is prevented by using filters. In a laboratory, in order to conduct the experiment, air conditioning test rig is used. So here are various components of air conditioning test rig: compressor, condenser, capillary tube, cooling coil, heating coil, refrigerant flow meter, dryer, accumulator, suction pressure gauge, discharge pressure gauge, temperature indicator, energy meter and HPLC cutout. Let us see all these parts in detail one by one. This is hermetically sealed compressor, which is used to compress the vapor refrigerant coming from the evaporator in order to increase its thermal energy level. Thus, its discharge temperature is increasing above the atmospheric temperature. Such hot vapor refrigerant is passing to the condenser, where heat from the refrigerant is rejected to the atmosphere and refrigerant is condensed. So here is a condenser of plate, fin and tube type. So in this, fan is used in order to have force type heat transfer convection. This is evaporator and heater section, where the cooling or heating of the air is carried out as per the requirement of the process. This is capillary tube or expansion device, which reduces temperature and pressure of the liquid refrigerant to a very low level. duct inlet through which air is passing inside, duct outlet through which air is coming out. So during this, air is passing from inlet to outlet of the duct. In this, either cooling or heating of the air can be carried out by operating the evaporator and heater coil respectively. Accumulator is provided before the compressor. It ensures only vapor which is passing to the compressor. Thus, dry compression is achieved. Suction pressure gauge gives pressure reading of compressor entry. Discharge pressure gauge gives reading of pressure at exit of compressor. Temperature indicator gives reading at the 4 locations in the vapor compression refrigeration system. So 1 is a temperature after compression, 2 is a temperature after condenser, 3 is a temperature after expansion valve, and 4 is temperature after evaporator. Energy meter is used to measure the electrical consumption of compressor. Refrigerant flow meter, inclined manometer is used in order to measure the velocity head of air passing through the duct. HPLP cutout means high pressure low pressure cutout. It protects the system when the system is running out of pressure at very high pressure or low pressure. In this case, HPLP cutout automatically stop the compressor and make the system safe. Dryer prevents entry of moisture which may pass to the capillary tube. Thus, it may block the capillary tube by the formation of moisture into ice due to very low temperature in capillary tube. This is block diagram of air conditioning test rig. Technical specifications of air conditioning test rig. Refrigerant used here is a R22. Compressor is used here as a hermetically sealed type. These details are already explained. Electrical supply of 230 volts with 50 Hz frequency is used here. AC current is used to run the air conditioning test rig. These are the standard values which are used in further calculations. Here 1 ton of refrigeration effect is taken as 3.517 kJ per second. Area of duct is given. The shape of duct is rectangular. Specific gravity of fluid used in manometer is given. Standard operating procedure. Connect the supply cable to regulated or stabilize power supply. Switch on the main switch. Put on the air handling unit fan. Record the dry bulb and wet bulb temperature at the inlet and at the outlet of the duct by using psychrometer. Switch on the compressor and allow the system to reach steady state. After that, record the energy meter reading in that compressor. Initial and final reading of energy meter is to be taken. Record the suction and discharge pressures of compressor. Measure velocity head with the help of manometer. Take minimum 4 number of readings in 10 minutes of interval each. So, by the conduction of experiment, we find the observations which are mentioned here in the observation table. Manometer reading is indicated by letter L in mm. This is energy meter reading. So here we conduct the test for the time of 30 minutes with interval of 10 minutes between each two readings. So here this is a initial reading of the compressor energy meter, and this is final reading in kilowatt hour. These are four temperature readings of the vapor compression refrigeration system. T1 is after compression, T2 is after condensation, T3 is after expansion, and T4 is after suction, means after evaporation, means at the entry of compressor. Compressor suction and discharge pressure gauge readings P1 and P2 are given in PSI. At the inlet of duct and outlet of the duct, these are the reading. So this is a dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature. So here this is the last column where inlet air temperature of duct as a dry bulb and wet bulb temperature. Similarly here at outlet of duct, these are temperature at outlet, dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature. Now by using this reading we can have sample calculation. First we calculate tonnage capacity. Formula for it is mass flow rate into enthalpy difference between inlet and outlet of the air. H1 is enthalpy at inlet of duct and H2 is enthalpy at outlet of duct. 3.517, this is a conversion factor from kilowatt to TR, means ton of refrigeration. Air conditioning in that condition of air which are taken. So air properties are measured by using psychrometer at the inlet and outlet of the duct. So inlet conditions as a dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature, and at outlet of the duct, outlet conditions as dry bulb and wet bulb temperatures. We need psychrometric chart to plot the process. So let us understand psychrometric chart. It is a graphical presentation of thermodynamic properties of moist air. Psychrometric chart is drawn for standard atmospheric pressure of 760 mm of Hg or 1.01325 bar. This is a psychrometric chart which contains different lines. In order to understand, let us take one point. We will take sample lines passing through this point, which will represent the properties of moist air. So this is a vertical line passing through this point, which represents dry bulb temperature. So dry bulb temperature values are mentioned at the bottom here on the x-axis. Here line passing through this point, horizontal. Here at the right side, here is a scale of specific humidity where we find the value of W in kg per kg of dry air. On the left side, on the saturation curve where this line will reach, here dew point temperature is obtained. This is a line which gives wet bulb temperature. Extension of this line on the enthalpy scale gives value of H in kilojoule per kg. This is a curved line which represents relative humidity in percentage. This is one more inclined line which gives specific volume in meter cube per kg. In order to calculate specific volume of air at any point on the chart, formula is VSA plus this is a distance. So VSA means this is a nearmost line of the point, its specific volume, and distance between the line and point in mm, and this is a multiplier. So by doing the calculation we can calculate specific volume of the given point on the chart. Extension of this horizontal line to the vapor pressure scale, we find here value of partial pressure of vapor means PV in mm of Hg. Now we will see the procedure of plotting of psychrometric process on the psychrometric chart. So for that we need here set of temperature at inlet and outlet. So at inlet take dry bulb temperature. So from the dry bulb temperature value on the chart, draw the vertical line, project vertical line in this way. This is a wet bulb temperature, project the WBT line parallel to the WBT lines. Intersection point, this is the point number 1. Similarly follow the process for outlet condition. So this is the dry bulb temperature at outlet, projecting the line. This is a wet bulb temperature, projecting the line. Intersection point, point number 2. Join line 1, 2. So this is a psychrometric process which is here called as cooling and dehumidification, because in this process from 1 to 2 dry bulb temperature is decreasing and specific humidity value is decreasing. So this is a cooling and dehumidification process. When we extend point number 1 line on the enthalpy scale, here we find enthalpy of air at the inlet H1, and similarly from point number 2 extension of this line on the enthalpy scale, we find enthalpy at outlet of the duct in kilojoule per kg. So from psychrometric chart, write the enthalpies of H1 and H2 in kilojoule per kg. Angle of inclined tube manometer. To find this angle, we need here distances. So this is a triangle. So 150 mm is a distance between these two vertical limbs, and these are the bottom points. So 15 mm is a distance between these two points. So let us take tan ratio, means tan theta is equal to 15 divided by 150. So angle theta is equal to 5.71 degree. Manometric head of fluid HF can be calculated by using this diagram. So here is a HF, theta, angle, L is a manometric fluid length from the observation table in mm. Let us take sine ratio. So HF is equal to L sine theta is equal to value of L in mm. Sine of theta, theta is calculated, so find the value of HF in mm. Density of manometric fluid. To find this, use the formula specific gravity multiplied by 1000. Specific gravity of manometric fluid as an alcohol is given. So we find density of manometric fluid in kilogram per meter cube. Density of air we can obtain by using formula rho A is equal to P upon RT for air. So this is a pressure of air, atmospheric air in a bar 0.95. Conversion it into Pascal or Newton per meter square. So multiply here with 10 raised to 5 divided by, this is a gas constant of air Ra in joule per kg Kelvin. This is a temperature of air. This is a conversion into Kelvin. So by the calculation we find value of rho A in kg per meter cube, that is air density. Manometric head means in terms of air column. To find this we use concept of fluid mechanics. So here we know that in a fluid mechanics pressure is equal to product of rho into G into H. So we can write rho GH for the air column and fluid column. In this case on the both side cancellation of term G, that is acceleration due to gravity. So remains rho A HA. into rho F HF. Arranging this equation in the term of HA, we find rho F HF divided by rho A. Putting the value of rho F, density of manometric fluid, HF value, this value is in mm, we need in meter, so conversion into meter, divided by rho A, which is calculated here. So by the calculation we find manometric head in air column in meter. Velocity of air which is passing through the duct can be obtained by using the formula V is equal to square root of 2gh. So this is VA is equal to square root of 2gHA. Value of HA putting here and calculation, we find the value in meter per second, that is velocity of air. Area of duct, here shape of the duct is rectangular, dimensions are given in mm, so area of duct we convert into meter square. So by the calculation we find area of duct in meter square. Discharge of air passing through the duct is obtained by using formula area into velocity of the air. So area of the duct in meter square and velocity in meter per second. We find discharge is meter cube per second. Mass flow rate of air passing through the duct. So unit of this is kg per second. To find this we can use product of discharge and density of air. So discharge in meter cube per second, this is a value, rho A is already calculated. By the calculation we find mass flow rate of air in kg per second. Refrigerating effect means cooling effect can be obtained by using formula mass flow rate of air multiplied by enthalpy difference along the duct. H1 is enthalpy of air at the inlet and H2 is enthalpy of air at outlet. So from the psychrometric chart, value of H1 and H2, putting over here value of MA. Calculation of refrigerating effect we find here in kilowatt. Tonnage capacity is given in TR, so this kilowatt we convert. So this is a conversion factor. Refrigerating effect in kilowatt divided by 3.517. So we find value of tonnage capacity in TR. Next is actual COP, means coefficient of performance of the system. In this compressor work is to be measured. So here electrical consumption done by the compressor is measured by using energy meter. So here we take initial and final reading of the energy meter. Formula of compressor work is energy meter final reading minus initial reading divided by time of the test. So here final and initial readings from the observation table divided by time in minute. This we convert into second. Thus we find work of compressor in kilowatt. Actual COP is a ratio of refrigerating effect to compressor work. So refrigerating effect and work, both values in kilowatt, we find actual COP. To find the theoretical COP, pressure at inlet and outlet of compressor is to be taken. So here absolute suction pressure is required. It is a sum of pressure gauge reading and atmospheric pressure. So at the suction P1 pressure is equal to pressure in PSI, conversion factor into bar as a 14.5, atmospheric pressure is 0.95. So P1 we get in a bar. Similarly we calculate absolute discharge pressure as exit of compressor as a P2 in bar. By using pressure values, we can plot the vapor compression cycle. So there is a special video on the process of how to plot vapor compression cycle on the pH chart in practical, that is test on vapor compression test rig. You can watch that video. Here we will discuss in a brief. So here you see suction pressure line, this is discharge pressure line, which are horizontal drawn. As per the temperature reading, after compression point number 1, after condensation point number 2, after expansion point number 3, and after evaporation point number 4. By using this temperature, we locate these 4 points. After that, through these points we project lines vertically on the enthalpy scale. So here we find from this line enthalpy H1, from this line enthalpy H4, and from this line enthalpy H3. Writing these enthalpies, formula of theoretical COP is ratio of refrigerating effect to the compressor work. Refrigerating effect for this chart plot is difference between H4 and H3. Compressor work is the difference between H1 and H4. So putting the values which are here obtained from the observation table in the formulae. So we find theoretical COP. Finally, we enlist the results in that actual COP, theoretical COP, and tonnage capacity. If we observe here actual COP and theoretical COP, then we find that value of actual COP is less than theoretical COP because of losses which occurs in compressor line, pressure drop occurs in condenser line, and pressure drop occurs in evaporator line. So at the end of this session, you can explain practical relevance, importance, and the procedure of conducting trial on air conditioning test rig. You can also determine theoretical and actual coefficient of performance along with tonnage capacity of air conditioning test rig. If you like this video, please subscribe and share. Thank you.